end of the year is a golden time for Vietnamese enterprises to increase exports due to rising demand of consumer goods in foreign markets. That is also the time to compensate for delays and losses due to disruption of the global supply chain. Many businesses are now facing a new challenge. Logistics costs are increasing more and more at the end of 2021. Sea freight from Vietnam to Asian countries such as Japan and South Korea have doubled in the past 4 months, while sea freight to European countries and the US in 10 times higher than before the pandemic.
This enterprise specializes in producing goods for export to Japan. After the social distancing period, its factory is facing a shortage of workers and can operate at only 60%. However, there is still pressure to speed up production.
Among the orders that the factory is receiving today, we can only choose to produce a third to meet the deadline to book the shipping company. We are trying to complete these orders 1 to 2 weeks before the date that we have signed to deliver to the customer.
The broken logistics not only make it difficult for the output of products, but also affects the source of input materials.
It normally takes only 2 weeks to fill up spots on a ship, so if Vietnamese enterprises do not realize the problem that they have to book early, they will face difficulties. When there is no space left, they will have to buy their spots on the secondary markets at a much higher price.
At this time, updated information on the supply chain is very important to boost exports. Logistics businesses need to provide information about transport to manufacturing businesses. In contrast, manufacturing enterprises also need to plan their production more effectively and accordingly.
In September this year, we recorded a trade surplus after a series of trade deficits for 5 consecutive months. This is a sign showing the recovery of enterprises after a long time affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. It is also an indicator that the global supply chain is being reconnected to become one of the main growth engines of our economy.
Export momentum is accelerating thanks to efforts to open up the economy on a national scale. The Ministry of Industry and Trade forecasts that by the end of the year, Vietnam can achieve a record high of $600 billion in import-export turnover.